Hear the words of Jesus recorded in the Gospel of John, the 10th chapter, verses 11 through 18. I am the Good Shepherd. The Good Shepherd lays down his life for the sheep. The hired hand, who is not the shepherd and does not own the sheep, sees the wolf coming and leaves the sheep and runs away, and the wolf snatches them and scatters them. The hired hand runs away because a hired hand does not care for the sheep. I am the Good Shepherd. I know my own, and my own know me, just as the Father knows me, and I know the Father. And I lay down my life for the sheep. I have other sheep that do not belong to this fold. I must bring them also, and they will listen to my voice. So there will be one flock, one shepherd. For this reason the Father loves me, because I lay down my life in order to take it up again. No one takes it from me, but I lay it down of my own accord. I have power to lay it down, and I have power to take it up again. I have received this command from my Father. The end of the reading. David said, "The Lord is my shepherd." And Jesus said, "I am the Good Shepherd." We don't, in our culture and in our day now, see shepherds out on the hillside much, with the sheep. We probably are more likely to find something like that in the Scottish hillside or the eastern part of New Zealand, far away. Nonetheless, this biblical image of sheep being shepherded really invokes some very strong and warm feelings of safety and security and comfort and care, of being led by one who knows us and loves us so much that he's ready to assume risk and danger on our behalf, and one who is powerful, able to provide for us the good things that we need, and strong enough to protect us from evil and dangerous things. Jesus says, "I am the Good Shepherd." The Good Shepherd. What is good? What's a good shepherd? And if I can say it and put it in a rather crass way, what's so good about the Good Shepherd? Well, if you'll allow me and maybe indulge me a little bit, I want to take a few minutes just to talk about that word good, because I think good is a very good word. If you look it up in the dictionary, you'll see that there is a long list of ways that this adjective good can describe many things in many ways. For example, if I tell you I have a good car, what's that mean? Well, it means it's reliable, it's serving me well. If I said, boy, that was a good exercise, I had a good workout this morning, what does that mean? Well, that was beneficial to my health. Oh, that was good food. What does that mean? It may mean it was very healthy, tasty, fresh, really delicious. I'm going to use my good china this evening. What does that mean? Well, we're not going to use the everyday china. This china somehow is special. We had such a good time. We enjoyed it, very enjoyable. Or we might talk about someone and we say, he's a good mechanic. She really is a good salesperson. What are we talking about there? We're talking about a particular skill or technique that they have. But now, if we begin to describe a person as good, saying that someone is good, then the word seems to convey a moral sense. One who is somehow virtuous and honest and kind and morally upright. It suggests that inward intrinsic quality of character. He's a good person. And I think that it's very much like that sense when Jesus says, "I am the Good Shepherd." the moral quality of goodness is inherent in the very person of Jesus. In other words, it's not simply that this shepherd is good at what he does, but there is a goodness about the shepherd himself that defines his very identity. Not simply what he does, but who he is and why he does what he does. It's not simply that he is good at shepherding. This shepherd himself is good. Now, it seems to me the word good, as has happened with many words that we use and maybe overuse in our common parlance, after a while they are diminished of their really true and fuller meaning. Good seems to degenerate to something like, okay, it was good. It was okay. You know, how are you today? I'm good. Or I love it when the waitress says, she always calls everybody guys. You know, she may have 5 lovely ladies sitting there. You guys want more coffee? Somebody surely will say, I'm good. And I always want to say, well, we'll be the judge of that. So I'm not sure what good means anymore. It's overused. Have you noticed how we have come to overuse superlatives? They're not super anymore. Sweetheart, would you like peas or beans for supper? I don't care. Okay, we'll have beans. Oh, great. Great? I mean, it's not great. I like beans. You ever notice we even refer to them as a mess of beans, and he's saying great. That's not great. That has nothing to do with greatness, does it? Fantastic. Wonderful. We say that word a lot. Is it full of wonder, what we're describing? Awesome. Or if it's really awesome, then it's totally awesome, right? I mean, what we're describing when we say that was totally awesome, was it really awe-invoking, where we were struck with a sense of wonder and awe? I don't think so. The one that really amuses me, I guess, is the word incredible. Because we tend to actually invert the meaning of that word till it nullifies it completely. We say something was incredible. So you had a nice vacation? Oh, it was incredible. Really? Wow. What did you do that was incredible? Oh, we went swimming and had a nice boat ride, and the food at the B&B was pretty good. Yeah. Well, actually, that's not incredible. That's very believable. Those are the kinds of things that many people do when they go on vacation. So, what did you do that was incredible? What should I find hard to believe? What was so extraordinary as to seem impossible that it might be termed incredible? Well, nothing like that. Oh, then everything about your vacation was actually quite credible, wasn't it? Your vacation was not incredible, but very believable and quite normal. Well, after a while, some words, and particularly superlative words, are no longer super just because we've used them too much. All that to say, when Jesus says, I am the good shepherd, he really is saying something. The word good is full of meaning. If we can somehow begin to grasp the meaning and the fullness of his moral goodness. I think my favorite psalm would be Psalm 100. And David says 2 short, terse sentences that are the heart of the whole thing. The first thing he says is, the Lord is God. Sounds like a very simple statement, doesn't it? The Lord is God. And he says, know that. Know that the Lord is God. He made us. We didn't make ourselves. He's God. We are his people. We are the sheep of his pasture. Get it straight. The Lord is God. So he is worthy of our worship and all of our joyful songs of praise and every expression of thanksgiving. The Lord is God. Why should we he so? Why is he so worthy of this worship? He says, the second sentence, for the Lord is good. That is a stirring statement that tends to be too bland because we've used good too easily. The Lord is good. His mercy endures forever. His faithfulness from generation to generation. The whole thing is summed up in those two words, the Lord is God, the Lord is good. One of my favorite musical pieces is the Elijah by Felix Mendelssohn. And you recall the contest in the Old Testament. Again, Elijah is there and has a contest with all of the prophets of Baal and false gods. And they are each to pray that God will rain down fire on the altar, and the one who does so will indeed be God. And all the prophets of Baal are crying out and wailing and beseeching their gods, and nothing is happening, and Elijah even begins to taunt them a little bit. And then it's his turn to pray. And he prays to the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And it's a very, very simple prayer that he prays. And then Mendelssohn has the whole chorus sing what I think is just the apex of the whole oratorio. They sing, the Lord, He is God. The Lord, He is God. Wow, that's saying something. And that Lord is good. Those two sentences, I think, are the premise of all of our worship. The Lord is God. The Lord is good. Hallelujah. Maybe I should have just preached on Psalm 100.